Hello and welcome to the Kayden Show, today's best country mix. And joining me right here today is Josie Laver. Josie, how are ya?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I am fantastic. Thank you so much for asking. So, kind of start by introducing yourself and letting people know who you are.
Yeah, so I'm from Australia. I come off a farm. I'm a farmer with mum and dad, and we have sheep and cattle on our property and horses. So I'm a legit sort of country girl, I suppose, and do country music, old country Americana. And so I'm probably 3 hours southwest of Sydney, which is the main city of Australia, capital city. And yeah, and I just did a gig actually last night with Catherine Britt, and I think Catherine is actually coming over to the States soon to do a whole run of shows over there. So yeah, I did a show last night, and yeah, just released the second single, Mustang. Yeah, it came out on the 16th, and yeah, it reminds me of a very sort of like Rolling Stones, Bonnie Raitt kind of song. So yeah.
That's awesome. So, is there something in particular that you love about music?
Um, I think I love the place where it takes me, when I'm in a low, or, when I'm feeling down, or even it, makes me feel quite happy. It takes me into lots of different places, and I meet lots of different people along the way. It's been a good thing for me because when I work out on the farm, obviously I don't see lots of
Hmm.
people, so I'm quite isolated where I am. So music has been a godsend in that way because I've been
Hmm.
able to, connect with people through music, which has been really nice for me. Yeah.
Definitely, and I was having a conversation with a couple other people that live in the middle of nowhere, and I agree. I think when you live in the middle of nowhere, you don't have anybody to really chat with. So, I mean, you take it to social media.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And it also, there is madness to some
Hmm.
isolation, but it also makes for very good writing, very good songwriting. So, yeah. No.
That is very true. Very true.
Yeah. It is. And so yeah, it's definitely helped me a lot. I think I always feel like music has always sort of found its way back to me, or me back to it. It always came in ebbs and flows, and then I felt like it was this something was telling me to sort of grab a hold of it a bit more, and that's what I did, obviously, and that a result of that is releasing these songs and starting some original music with a guy I co-wrote the whole album with, Matt Joe Gow. He's down in Melbourne, Victoria, and yeah, and that's what music has done. It's taken me on this never-ending journey. Yeah.
That's awesome. So, if you could choose one person to do a duet or collaboration with Josie, who would you choose and why?
Oh my God, that is such a hard question. I've been listening to Chris Stapleton a lot lately,
Hmm.
and and why not? you know, um, someone along those lines, someone along the lines. Like I'd love to do one with Catherine Britt one day. I mean, I know her, and I have a lot of Aussie artists that I look up to that I'd love to collaborate with, but yeah, in terms of, I don't know who else I would with a male artist. That is such a tough question. That's like when someone asks you, "What's your favorite song?" I'm like, "Oh my God, how could you ask that?" But yeah, it's there's a lot out there. I mean, obviously there's other artists that I really enjoy listening to that are older. But someone like Steve Earle, or Gillian Welsh, and those sorts of people. But yeah, yeah, definitely. Why not? Let's just say Chris Stapleton for all time's sake.
What's really interesting is that when I asked that question, and particularly in the last week or so, Chris Stapleton has probably been my number one answer I've heard. So you're
No
not alone.
way.
There's a lot of people that have recently said Chris Stapleton. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think it's because he's
Mm-hmm.
just, you can't go wrong with him really, and just an amazing artist, amazing voice, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you just sort of, I think that's always, someone's dream is to,
Mm-hmm.
collaborate with a real artist like that that's quite authentic, but, quite amazing at the same time. So, yeah.
What do you like doing outside of music?
So I in lockdown last year I started silversmithing with mum. So we started making, like silver jewelry and
Huh.
turquoise, and I always get really inspired by a lot of jewelry making that I see over in the States. And all that sort of Navajo jewelry. I love riding horses. We've got a lot of horses out on the farm, and that's always a good time thing to do where you just sort of switch off, and you don't really think about too much other than what's underneath you. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I just love all that sort of stuff. I do love um, going for walks out on the farm, and
Mm-hmm.
but I always feel like I never get a lot of time for that because we're too busy working on the farm to enjoy it sometimes. So yeah, I do love all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
What would you be doing if music wasn't really an option for you?
Oh my God. I don't know. That's such a tricky question.
Mm-hmm.
What would I do? I mean, I love movies. So
Mm-hmm.
if I was to do something creative, I think it would have to be to do with film or photography or I mean, I love silversmithing. Obviously I have the horses. I have a few different
Mm-hmm.
sort of facets I could go down, but to me music covers a big broad, it covers all that in the one sometimes. So but yeah, I would probably do film or something like that as a pastime off the farm. So yeah, there you go.
And beforehand, guys, Josie was telling me about a series called Yellowstone. I'm not sure if any of you listeners or anything have heard of it, but I have not. So.
It is a great series. All the Australians go crazy over it.
You
we
gotta let
all
me
we
know, anyone who's listening that's Australian. You gotta let me know if you know that, if you love that series.
That's so funny.
uh, yeah,
Yeah.
very, very funny. So,
Yeah.
where can people find you on social media platforms if they want to see
Yeah.
what you're up to?
I Yeah, just message me on Instagram. I'm on Instagram under Josie Laver or Josephine Laver, and then I'm on Facebook, so you can find me there. You can find me on Spotify, but mainly Facebook and Instagram. I don't have a web page yet, but Spotify has all my shows coming up because I've got bands in town
Mm-hmm.
that I've finally gotten together with that, and yeah, just those platforms really. And yeah, just flick me a message, say that you're listening today, and and tell me who you are. I love meeting people, like near or far. So yeah.
Do you have any advice to give anyone that might want to start singing but doesn't really know how to get started?
Try and just, keep at it, even if you feel like you're alone. Just sort of believe in yourself, believe in, what your gut and what your heart is telling you to do, and don't listen to any noise around you if people are not encouraging, or all you need is one person to support yourself, and that can be yourself. That can be enough. And try and find some people, or like an open mic night, or anything that sort of involves people that are like-minded, that want to encourage you and want to see you succeed. And mainly just, don't be shy about it. Just sort of, come out of your shell, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you have to feel a bit uncomfortable to, go to those next steps, and, and what comes out of that is, eventual success, because, you've taken big steps and big
Hmm.
bold steps. And I definitely, when I first started, I couldn't sing in front of a person. I used to sing to the horse all the time. And every time a person would come near, when I was working in a horse stable, back in my teens, I would just, I'd stop singing. So, I came from the ground where I couldn't even sing in front of anyone, to, singing in front of lots of people. And whether it be 100 or 200 or 30 people, or so I'm still relatively small, but
Hmm.
it's definitely just this ladder that you just have to keep climbing and keep working on, and set goals, and whether they be big or small. I don't think anything's ever too big, and I think Dolly Parton always said that, you can never dream too big. Whatever you believe, is what you can achieve if you set your mind to it and stay very strong and positive. But also, I find that people, in the music industry, generally there's good and bad ones, but there's a lot of good ones in there that do want to see you do well, and come out and succeed, and just find those people, and yeah, network and do that.
Totally. And
Yeah.
is there anything that I forgot to mention that you'd like to mention, Josie?
No, we'll just, find my songs on on Spotify. There's Tangled, my first single. I think you'd really love that one. And then there's Mustang, and I mean they're on all the platforms, like Spotify, Apple, iTunes, YouTube. I've got a video out with Tangled, and it's on Vivo on YouTube, and check it out. I'm riding a horse bareback. I do my own stunts. and and I've got a third single coming out. We're yet to confirm a date, but it's going to be early August, and then I'm hoping to bring the album out later in the year, like September or October, and I'm going to be doing filming for that video next month, which is pretty exciting. So yeah, it's all still gonna come out. I'm still gonna bring lots of material out, and hopefully keep the ball rolling, and get some new fans hopefully, and maybe come over there one day. I'd love to come over to
Yeah,
the
you never
States and
know. You
perform.
should come over here and do some shows one day.
Yeah, it'd be fun. Yeah,
Awesome. And again, Josie, thank you so much for taking the time to come on the Kayden Gordon Show, today's best country mix. We sure do appreciate
that's
it a
okay.
lot.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate you talking to me, and yeah, taking the time to get to know me. And yeah, I'd love to meet you one day in real life. It'd be good, come over to the States and Massachusetts, and yeah, Nashville.
Mhm.
It'd be fun.
Absolutely.